Welcome back to another video. Today is Christmas Day. We opened all of our gifts and went to my wife's family's house and had some breakfast, and now let's take a look at how we did. So I already unboxed it because I got a little bit excited. This is one of my other gifts. So this is a stage 2 Walbro bucketless fuel pump. 150% more efficient. I'm gonna install that, but today's video is the Eonon touchscreen Android badassness deck. So I kind of laid everything out. Oh, I also got some wheel spacers. These are actually super nice. Not sure when I'm gonna run these, but I asked and I received. So yeah, I got these. They're 15 millimeter, and then I got the wireless ashtray delete wireless charger. I don't smoke, so I don't need an ashtray, but I'll do these other 3 items in another video. But today we're gonna work on this bad boy. Super impressed. Oh, look at that. Look at the mirror. In here, because this is just one sexy machine. And when I pulled the cover off, it's surprising every single time. Just, damn, you know? So, this is my current interior now. It's just blacked out. It blacked everything out. It's the way I like it. Just Darth Vader style. That is the stock head unit. So I don't know if this is anything like anything else that I ordered. Maybe this one won't fit, but we'll see. Mine does have the heated seats down there below, but I'm pretty sure I can delete those and run them through that unit. Just real quick, damn, this thing's clean. So I cleaned it up before I put it away, so it's just fresh. It's sock fresh, you know what I mean? Just rub your socks in here. So anyways, I figured out a way to get a little bit better light in here, because I don't want to take my whole cover off. Get a little bit better light, get you guys set up, and we'll go from there. Alright, you can see I got my little hooked trim piece tools. They're just a little eBay set. But getting them back in behind here, and gradually releasing the clips here, working my way down, try not to break anything, which we'll see, no promises. Use this other radio for leverage maybe. Dust and debris so far. Okay. Looks like that was pretty simple. Looks like it's got a few tabs right here and maybe a tab on the bottom there. Let's see. Obviously I disconnected my negative on my battery. Push down on that. Out. Push down total. Wait, okay, he's out. It's 2 little levers that you click back, so that one's out. Looks like it's got a few Phillips screws in for the deck. Change that. Got the first one. Magnet's pretty handy. easy. What do we got here? It's tight though. Not really much connected here. Accurate and detailed directions. So I'm gonna be referring to those every so often when I kind of get lost, when my common sense fails me. So I need to try to figure out how to pull these off and then remove this, and then it looks like I have to take this internal cage out, so I'll do that next. Okay, this one has like a little back, can't really see it, but you pinch this, main cord comes out, like this little deal right here. You just pinch it and then the whole thing rotates out. And same with the antenna cord, I just pinch that guy off. So, probably can't see that because I have lights on my sunroof, my little light setup, so you guys can see, but I don't know, that doesn't look that bad. Pretty decent for a stock deck. And it's in good condition, so set that off to the side. And I was just kind of eyeballing the directions. I got my 3 cords here. Pretty dusty back in there. 2 down below, and I think I have to start taking this apart, but I'm gonna double check the directions on this one. So I did open up one of the packages and it came with a brand new little pry tool, so that's pretty handy. And then Torx 20 screwdriver bit for these screws, and then probably a 7mm socket, I believe, for the bolts on the lower part there. We'll find that out here in a second. These bad boys out. And there's a whole lot of wires that came with this thing, so this might be a bigger project than I thought. I'd like to add all the functions that it came with to the car, because these cars definitely didn't come with this year a whole lot of bells and whistles. And I'm old school, I didn't want the double hump. I don't like the way it looks, and the screen is teeny and pathetic in my opinion, and I just like the more old school look single hump dashboard. So, and yeah, my car is an automatic. Go ahead and hate manual, guys. I've had plenty of manuals in my life, and I don't mind this little automatic, to tell you the truth. If I want to cruise it in grandpa or I want to rip it around, I got both options, just don't have the clutch. So I'm gonna shift it on the RPMs, which I enjoy it, and it's mine, so that's all there is to it. So I took those 4 screws out, and it looks like the only thing holding in now are what I think are probably 7mm. Alright, I was wrong. 8mm. Pull these 2 bottom ones out. It's on like this little bridge looking bracket. Pretty much the only ones you can visually see. Kind of tight. Used an extended socket. Break them loose. Guys, out. And this guy is on his way out. Either way, if I got the wrong part for Christmas, and I'll just send it back and order the right part. So there we go. Tuck these wires back in here. Hopefully I don't have to freaking, if I can get it out without moving the shifter. Seems like it's hung up on one thing. What's it hung up on? No, just take a little persuasion. Push him back. Pull him out. There you go. Cage action. So I'm going to put him down here. Now that we Not that wide open. Clean them up a little bit. I'm gonna delete this, seen in my video, I'm gonna delete this ashtray too. That's what I'm most excited about. Well, one of the things I'm excited about. This is a cool deck, so it's gonna add a bunch of functions my car doesn't have. Run my JB4 off here and bam, look at that. That space is amazing, so I'm pretty stoked on that. So, got all that out. I'm gonna go take another peek and we'll go from there. Alright, well, I want to take back what I previously said about how thorough and good the directions are. This right here is where they stop getting thorough. That is not even on this deck, so nowhere. Maybe this is a universal set. Okay, if you look past that, now it says, okay, connect the head unit with the car radio plug via Eonon radio harness. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is the only one close enough, but I need to investigate here. Alright, this is more like it. Description of everything. So I'm gonna go over this and see what I can figure out. Okay, like I said, I am no expert, but not an idiot either. So I'm just looking at all this stuff, and there's really no way to plug the wrong stuff in the wrong spot. Each one of these is very specific. See that little guide right there? It's not going to allow you, thank God, to plug them in the wrong spot. They only go in certain spots. So that's a plus for me. Like I said, I'm learning as I go here, so I don't have an aftermarket stereo. I don't have aftermarket speakers. I don't think I'm gonna run the CarPlay. Not gonna run the mic as of right now, but we'll see once I start taking things apart. GPS, yes, and it's marked GPS, if you can see that, GPS. Wi-Fi, I'm probably gonna run that. This harness obviously connects into here, and I'm still trying to figure out where this one goes. It has the canvas thingy on it already, but I also got this, so I'm still kind of confused on where these go, but I'll figure it out, you can bet, and we'll see where we're at here shortly. Alright, this is where I'm at. It seems pretty self-explanatory at this point. It kind of took me some figuring to figure it out though. Obviously, each one of these are very specific. Your CarPlay, your USB, they're only going to plug into certain spots in the back of the deck. Your GPS, your Wi-Fi antenna. And then this guy right here, A0581, is for your decoder, number 4. You can see it right here on the directions, number 4, right here. So this is an extra thing so you don't pull a code, and it plugs into here. You can see the wire scheme color is the exact same. So I'm gonna work on, look at that, work on already done. So I pulled out my cup holder assembly with the pry tool. You got two little shaft deals that go in here, and then 2 clips on either side. That faceplate pulls off. You got 2 Phillips screws for each. Open the side compartment here. I'm going to run all my cords back in there because those are set up like a magazine on a rifle. You're not going to run into anything. Run them down below and then pop them into this area here, and then probably pop off my pillar panel, and then figure out where I'm going to put that. Put the 3 cables that look the least intrusive. So I'm gonna work on that, and then I will catch you up. Alright, so I fished both of those through there, made a little coat hanger grabber that I could fish back in behind there. I'll pull them all out that way and then tuck them back in there, and then pop off that pillar and find a spot on the glass that I want to put all those, attach all those. Alright, we did the GPS the exact same way. Comes in through here. I'll tidy all those up here shortly. I need to figure out, probably connect everything in here, get everything the way it needs to be first, and then put the both parts up on the, I can't even think right now. You know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, fished them through here, back through there. I'm gonna go grab the microphone portion because I'm not sure where I'm gonna put that yet, and then I'll go from there. So just for now, I'm gonna run the USB and CarPlay right there. So you won't even be able to really notice it if you don't know it's there, which is what I want. And I kind of want all the functions and features. I basically just, here's the cord. I ran it up through the inside here, literally just popped right up. I'm gonna do that with both of those, and just so I have them and they're connected and I don't have to pull it all apart. So far so good. I mean, it's not that bad, but there's some stuff you have to take apart, so typical BMW stuff. So not bad for now. Anyways, they're both labeled, and I'll leave enough slack to where I can pull them down and then tuck them back in if need be. So I'm gonna run the mic. I just haven't figured out where yet. Might even run it in that same area. So we shall see. I could have probably taken apart the center console, because I'm gonna do the ashtray delete thing. So maybe I'll find a better way to route them later or something. Or I wish I could kind of Dremel them into right here, which I probably could, but we'll see. Anyways, that's where I'm at so far. Got pretty much everything ran. I'm gonna run the microphone somewhere and we'll go from there. I've seen a BMW with a light bar. This is where I'm at now. Everything's ran where it needs to go, so I'm gonna grab the actual stereo and then we'll try to plug it in. We got everything plugged in, the main harness. We've got the decoder plugged in off the main harness, and we've got the microphone plugged in, the antenna plugged in, everything kind of blocked off except for this guy. Cut the tabs off the AC and heat. I'm gonna Dremel those flush, and then it looks like the square holes go there, obviously reversed around, and then this guy sits in here like so, and we'll take care of that, and then we'll start putting this in. Dremel made real short work of that. Took those right down, so left the little ears, and we're gonna move forward with the process here. All right, those clipped on just fine. It's pretty sturdy. The screws will go in the bottom, so it'll get even sturdier. The back little metal piece rests up against the deck, so should be good. All right, we got all the easy picking first. The actual power from the car is the shortest, so we got everything plugged in except for the antenna. So I'm gonna do that and then plug the main power in and we'll go from there. All right, reconnected the power. I'm gonna test it, make sure everything's good. The bracket's back in there. I'll put those 2 screws, and then you got the 2 screws to the side of it. Just sitting there for now. I fed all the stuff, pulled all the slack out on that side, and I'll deal with all that on this end here in a shortly. All right, well, we got power so far, so see what happens here. So far, so good. Looks flipping amazing. All right. Icons are popping up, so that's good. Doors open and the trunk's open, so I'll go back. Bluetooth. Go home. See what we got. I've never even used one of these, so I have no idea what I am doing. Back. Radio, Bluetooth, music, apps. Home link, Bluetooth. What I'm looking for is if my seat warmers will work without. This one supposedly does. Nav, we'll check that out. I don't know. We'll do another update video. Right now I'm going to button all this stuff up now that I know it has power. I'll disconnect the battery again, plug in all the bottom, button everything up, And then we'll go back to, there's got to be another screen. Oh, there we go. Settings, car information, app notification, storage, memory. Oh, my auxiliary. I just bumped it with the auxiliary, so I'll get back to you. All right. I'm definitely not satisfied 100% with the fitment. The actual deck or head unit fits great, but getting my AC and all that stuff to fit is a nightmare. It's just a little too wide. But I got the ring on there. What I had to do was put the AC portion on, then put the deck in. Obviously put the two back Torx 20s in there. The screws they provided weren't long enough. They didn't even reach the factory connection, so I had some other screws. This is on here good. This fits great. When you're moving this down, you're going to run into a little bit of an issue. The edges you can see. You can only shave so much before you compromise the structure of the little brackets that hold that in there. And then once I did that, I had to scoot this guy out just a hair to sneak this bezel, this trim bezel on there. But I mean, from what it was to what it is now, huge difference. Got to run all my cables up through the pillar. They're all down there. Had some company come over for dinner, so took a small little break, which I probably needed. But all in all, it looks really good. It is aftermarket, so you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. So that's where I'm at. Alright, so that's the final resting place for that. I'm going to have to be satisfied with that. It looks pretty amazing, to tell you the truth. What I did next to get the A-pillar off is you pull this little airbag. If you have airbags, pull that off. There's a Torx 20, and then you just pry it out and away. You got little retainer holes in there, that probably 1, 2, that hold that up in there, and then there's your airbag, which my battery's disconnected. So that's where I'm gonna run all my wires, and then I'll figure out where they're gonna go from there. But yeah, so far so good. Just kind of messing around, and I mean, it looks pretty good, so I'm pretty satisfied. All right, I didn't want to compromise too many of the features just by being lazy, so I took off the A-pillar. I got the GPS there in the corner, which 90% of that will be hidden. I've got the Wi-Fi down there at an angle close to the dashboard, like along the black area of the outline of the window. And then up at the mirror, I put the mic, and then took a pry tool or a trim tool and then ran it up underneath the headliner, which I'm not going to get a good view of that. So anyways, it's going to look pretty good once I have it all put together. And then I just zip tied the excess, and I'm going to put it back behind the dashboard because it's not going to interfere with cup holders because they're enclosed. It's like a magazine for a rifle, so there's no moving parts for it to get caught up in, and it'll all hide behind the dashboard and back in there. Super good. So yeah, recap, hopefully you remember the connections and all the wires only go in one way. So that was pretty simple once I kind of gathered my thoughts and went through the process, and then I ran everything back behind there. I didn't have to take off too much stuff. I mean, it was tedious and time consuming. I still got a little bit more time to put into it, but so far so good. I'm liking it. All right, guys, I like the way it came out. Everything looks really clean. I might change that 3M tape from the gray to black, but everything looks pretty good. I wanted all the functions, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Fitment was about 99% in my opinion, but it took me a few hours just messing around, so hopefully someone learned something. I think I went in depth enough to hide all your cords, and I mean, the only thing I have are the USBs down there. You can't even see them. I just installed them, so I had them. So anyways, I hope this helps somebody. I'm gonna mess with this thing a little bit and see what I can do. All right, so I had to throw this part in here. It's midnight here, and I've been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for hours. I installed it. You've seen it installed. Everything on it worked but the sound. I was so pissed, to say the least. Went up, took a shower, went through the manual, looked at a few things, saw a step I missed, and I'll show you that step, but then I'll show you the most important step. So these are not the best directions, like I said. So I missed the connect the blue wire of the radio antenna power cord with the blue wire of the signal booster to power the factory harness. Okay, I'm going to show you, that's confusing, and I'm going to show you why. Nothing in here says signal booster. But if you look close, and I don't know if this I don't think it has jack shit to do with it, but you can see 9 and 10 and 22 and 23 are connected. Ant out, ant, which is ant con, and amp com. Connected those. Connected. Oh, that's amp. Duh, idiot. Amp con. Amp con. Connected those. Ant, the blue one, to this green one off the antenna that was not labeled. But that has really nothing to do with it. That part right there is the key. If you do not have that, your shit will not work, period. This is the brand new 9465B. I think there might be even a newer one. You have to have this part. That's straight off your main wire harness, plugs right in there. And then you pull this guy out. It's got a little gray tubular looking, let me see. It's got this inside of it. You pull that out. Well, I'm troubleshooting this thing and I'm looking at my main harness. This is the main harness from the car. Back corner right here, when you unplug this, it's not going anywhere. That's your fiber optic. I had the instructions for this thing and I don't know what I was thinking, man, but I've been pull this guy out of here. It's got a little tab on the backside. Wiring not focusing. Super self-explanatory. Slide it in the factory right there. Boom. Plugs in. Then you got your red and yellow. Where are they at? Red and yellow. Front out right, front out left. Plug those in. Bam. It works. It works because of that. Your canvas, I don't even know, or whatever the heck this thing is. I don't even know if that even does jack shit. That right there is like $100 and some part. That's what makes it work. I am so stoked right now. So stoked. So hopefully that made sense. You pull the green and the black. No one has a video on this, by the way. I have scoured the internet. Scoured YouTube. Couldn't find anything. Everybody just plugs them in. Oh yeah, that's how you do it. No. Hopefully this is one of the more in-depth videos on how to connect this. Anyways, I just hope it helps somebody. But let me get a better picture of that. The green wire and the black covered wire come off of your main harness. Go into there. This little black piece right here is provided. It's got a blank in it, that little gray with the 2 holes in it that I showed you. This plugs right into your, comes off here and plugs right into your main harness. Man, I'm stoked right now. This thing sounds amazing. I'll update you in the morning. Alright, now that it's the next day, I am going to install this thing hopefully once and for all. I did want to recap on this part right here. This you can buy from Eonon. That's where this gift came from. Thank God my wife reads directions, because without this piece, this head unit replacement, you will not get sound. I don't know what else what other function it has, but everything else seemed to work fine. Everything. I even called her. She could hear me clear as day. So super important part. It's another $100 and something bucks. So just want to make sure everybody understood this is why I didn't get any sound. Period. So once I pulled that fiber optic, this green and this black covered one, out of the main harness, out of the back bottom left, plugged it in there, and then plugged in the other auxiliary wires, I was good to go. So I am still making the assumption on this antenna ant to this green wire somehow provides it power. Not 100% positive. It didn't burn or catch on fire. So, and then this amp con to amp con, male to female. I can't think of any other place it would plug in. They are the only open-ended male to female minus this yellow 12 volt power. So anyways, I'm going to stick this guy in here hopefully for the last time. I did have to use some regular wood screws, which the ones that come with it are almost the exact same thread pattern anyways, and are pretty much the same thing. They were just a little too short. They weren't quite, they were getting to like right here. They weren't quite engaging the factory connectors. And before I ran those, you know, drywall screws or board screws in there, I made sure they threaded without tearing up the threading, because finer, coarser threads weren't threading in there. So it does have the bigger threads. So anyways, I'm going to put this together. All the functions are fine. I could have probably put that in the pillar, the Wi-Fi, which it works great. I connected right to my Wi-Fi. I like the microphone being here rather than over on the driver's side. It looks a little bit more OEM to me because it's with the rain sensors and all that stuff. And a lot of the times my son will call, so why wouldn't I have it in the middle so both people could talk? Or in general, I guess. I didn't think it needed to be driver specific. And then my USBs down there, no big deal, they're plugged in. Might as well. Everything came out pretty good. I'm going to button this thing back up. I did do one other modification, and I'll show you right now. I trimmed these little rings way down. You don't, like, it's, see if I can pick this up. It's like it's super blocky right here, and I cut it at a profile and then shave these down. The bezel covers all of this, but when I first installed it, it's so wide and you have to lower it that you could see the side over here. So I'm trying to make that not the case. So I shaved the ears off. Kind of hit the button a little bit here too, which kind of bummed me out, but whatever, you won't see that anyways. I'm gonna clean this up, dry fit everything. The one thing I did notice, I did my wiring a little different than everybody else. This is how I installed mine. I wasn't gonna basically reverse engineer someone else's video because everybody's gonna do it their own little way. I didn't want to do that. And for some reason, I haven't seen a single video online, and I looked until I figured out what I was doing. Still couldn't figure it out. Finally looked at the directions from the link from that that secondary part that you have to have. I'll try to put a picture of that in the video somewhere. And yeah, I mean, that's what you need to make this work. So hopefully this helps somebody. One more thing I wanted to add also is this does run my heated seats. So pretty much everything worked. I went through all the functions, messing with it, hooked my battery charger up to my car. Because one video I watched said, well, you don't get sound unless you have 13 volts. No, that's not the case. If that was his case, he had a bad ground somewhere or something. I think he was in an X5. It wasn't even the same unit. Voltage has nothing to do with your sound, or it shouldn't, in my opinion, unless they're doing some crazy stuff. And another guy said it was his antenna. He just moved his antenna around. Yeah, highly doubt that. Your antenna shouldn't have anything to do with your speakers either. So anyways, it runs the heated seats, so I can delete that, thank God. I don't have to get the ashtray heated seat deal because I'm gonna make my ashtray wireless charger. So anyways, that's a plus as well. All right, she's all put back together, and shaving those extra little bit made it fit perfectly. So I'm excited about that. There we go. I like it. All right, guys, this wraps up this video. I got this as a Christmas gift. Not sponsored by them by any means. Not sponsored on any of this stuff that I'm going to do. I'm going to work on my ashtray delete for my wireless charger, and then probably my fuel pump. So you should be seeing those videos soon. I like doing this stuff. It's expensive. I'm not sponsored by anybody yet. Please like and subscribe. Please comment. Please ask me some questions. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. I am by no means a professional when it comes to this stuff, so I just want to do it together. You know, you guys look at my videos to get some inspiration or something I may have messed up and learn from. I can pass it on to you guys. So like I said, like and subscribe, please. Share, comment. Thanks for watching.